Я не питаю никаких...
But at least he understands me. You and Victoria claimed innocence when you ruined his life, too. So why don't you go on home? I'm sure Victoria is waiting for you.
Hey, Cruzy, what's that? Yeah. Okay. See him get to you like that.
I'll be all right.
Everyone every now and then needs some help, even eating careful.
I just assume you left me alone, Keith.
Get them behind you. I think I can help you do that. I think I know exactly how. It won't cost you anything. I think it's worth a listen, don't you? I know how bad this hurts you. You've lost Cruz. Killed you. Victoria's responsible. What does she lose? Doesn't she deserve to lose something?
No.
She's a calculating woman, but she was careless about something. She led on to something the other day. It makes me think that I've been in the dark about something that I should know. Sounded like that she was on the beach the day that Katie died. Was she? You know, don't you?
This isn't the time, Keith.
Oh, come on, that's an excuse that they give you.
Yes.
I know you're not like Victoria. She lies, she covers up things, she doesn't care who the hell gets hurt. I mean, you lose Cruz, Katie dies. Imagine if Kelly died. Would you want to know? Wouldn't you think you had the right to know?
I wasn't there, Keith.
You know what happened. My sister drowned, and if somebody is responsible, they should pay. They should be punished. So far, I am the only one that suffered, only me. Victoria's come away clean. Come away clean from sabotaging you and Cruz. I know you wouldn't hurt anybody deliberately, but... Don't you think somewhere in the middle of all this, someone ought to start telling me the truth?
Yes. Yes, you deserve to know.
Did Sybil say who sent this?
No, she didn't. You mean you weren't expecting to hear from someone? I didn't mean to be the bearer of bad news.
No news at all. Can't be news from someone who's dead. At least to me.
You asleep?
No. I'm just afraid to open my eyes in case everything that happened last night has been a dream.
As a dream. And awakening doesn't end.
If only it were just the two of us to think of.
It is. Don't allow yourself to think anything else. We're entitled.
Oh, Lionel, if you knew how many times I have given myself permission to do as I please with those very words.
Whatever this inner set of rules that you follow, I'm sure it allows you to be happy.
I know, I have tried so hard to make myself believe that I don't desperately need you to hold me and make love to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. I do need you. And I don't want to feel guilty.
Then don't.
What's it gonna be, sweetheart? You said you wanted to come to my room with me.
Oh, I love the fall. The beach isn't covered with people. The air, it's softer and lighter.
Yeah, the beach is swell. Look, honey, what do you want?
You really want to know? I have a whole list. I want to be a complete person. I don't want to feel so inadequate. I want to feel free. Free to trust that people like me for what I am. Free to taking everything around me.
Yeah, that really sounds great, but isn't there something that you really want?
I suppose I want the same things any woman wants.
Such as?
Happiness, love, loyalty, respect.
Well, now, if you want my respect, you gotta keep the conversation to a minimum. And just name a price.
A price? Can $100 buy love? Can $1,000 buy happiness?
Well, an approximate price range is all that I need. Santa Barbara Vice. You're under arrest for solicitation. They were there, weren't they? At South Beach.
Keith, you have to promise me something.
What?
You can't punish Cruz.
You must have a good heart, but why'd you just shield Cruz from anything? I mean, he spared you nothing.
I don't want him hurt.
It was his fault that Katie died. I'm gonna nail
No,
it.
it wasn't. And that's why I want you to promise not to go after him. He did everything he could to help.
You tell me what you have to tell me, then I'll decide.
No, you will not decide. You will promise me that you will not hurt him, and I will trust you, and you will trust me, and you will keep your promise.
Okay. Okay. Castillo's off limits. I've long since given up thinking that he was responsible for Katie's death, but, Victoria was on the beach that day. Am I right?
Yes, they both were.
Sure does get dark early these days. Stop snowing. Brian, that is your name? I would have never agreed to have brought that note from your friend if I would have known how much it was going to upset you.
Never said it was my friend.
I just assumed.
You're gonna be up here for a while.
You know, I couldn't help noticing when I was driving up there that there are no other cabins around.
No? That's why I'm up here. I come up here to be alone.
Guess I spoiled that today.
Got the rest of my life.
Do you think liking to be alone is the same as wanting to avoid people? Now, I could be wrong, but I get this impression that you're trying to avoid the person who wrote you that note. Now, if you just would have known where your address was, I'm sure you
Look,
could
you're
have
not gonna leave this alone, are you?
I'm sorry. Subject's closed.
Well, I guess anyone would wonder by the way I tore up that note. That was my brother.
I see. I gather the two of you don't get along? You must want to be around some people sometime.
Look, when I want to be around people, I go off to the pub. I don't know, I suppose that sometimes when I'm snowed in up here during the winter, I get a little lonely.
Well, what do you do then?
Nothing. Being alone is a lot better than how my life used to be.
Do you have any family other than your brother?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like him. They're too good for anyone. Too good for my kind.
Well, then I guess you don't spend much time with them?
Nope. Haven't seen them for an awful long time now, and I don't plan to.
People change, Brian. But then I guess they must have done something pretty terrible to you to make you feel this way about them.
It's what they didn't do.
So Katie swam up toward the point. At first they weren't concerned because she was a championship swimmer. But Cruz got worried, but there wasn't anything he could do about it. He couldn't go in after her because his arm was in a sling.
An accident on the job, I remember going.
So Cruz went for help.
And Victoria stayed.
Yes. I mean, she thought that Katie was all right. She hated Katie. She wanted Katie out of her life, but there was a certain part of her that thought that she was just doing it for attention. But when Katie disappeared, Victoria panicked.
And what, she went in after her?
No, she just froze. I mean, there was a part of her, or at least she made herself believe that Katie swam around the point. And when the lifeguard came, that's what she told him.
So you're saying that Victoria stayed on the beach and deliberately let my sister drown?
I don't know that. I didn't say that. But you see, Cruz wasn't even there. Where are you going?
Thank you for telling me. I can handle things from here.
What are you going to do?
I'm not going after Cruz.
Are you going to the police?
First, I'm going to find out if Victoria can live with herself. Well, this woman is human after all.
Amy, you okay?
Mason, everything I do seems to be wrong. Cruz, I had to call you. I'm not sure why I said those things in front of Eden, I mean. I see now that my coming back to Santa Barbara was a mistake from the beginning. I can never expect you to forgive me for the pain that I caused you, but believe me, if there was any way that I could erase the harm that I've done, I would.
Look, I'll tell you the truth. That what happened at the lighthouse, you weren't aware.
I knew that. I guess I knew that from the beginning that you were thinking of Eden. It was the shots that I gave you for the pain. I just wanted to believe. I'll try and make Eden understand. And then I'll leave Santa Barbara. I promise you that I will never come back into your life again, Cruz. I won't cause you any more trouble. All I've been to you is trouble. But please understand that anything that I did because I love you. I know I'll never have you, but I'll never stop loving you.
All I'm saying is that I can't believe that anything bad enough could happen that would end the kind of relationship that you and Eden had.
Well, you don't understand, man. Sit down. See, when I was at the lighthouse with Tori, I mean, I don't even remember half of what went on. I mean, I was out of my mind.
Okay, you're losing me here. All I know is that Victoria, she helped save your life, right? Now, is it?
Pearl, as God is my witness, I was thinking of Eden while I was there. But she doesn't believe me.
Believe you about what? Or am I jumping to my own conclusion here? What?
Just a second, man.
Is there something on the answering machine?
Eden?
I had to call you. I'm not sure why I said all those things.
Victoria. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll butt out for now, but I just want you to know that you're not alone.
Okay.
Hey.
Thank you.
Cruz, I had to call you. I'm not sure why I said all those things in front of Eden, I mean. I see now that my coming back to Santa Barbara was a mistake from the beginning. From the moment Victoria came back to Santa Barbara, things started falling apart. And Cruz and I, we were going to be together. We were happy. And now Cruz is alone. And I'm alone and he's unhappy. And I can't even blame it all on Victoria. I brought so much on myself.
You're not the first, Eden. Happiness can be staring us right in the face, and if fate doesn't close the door, we'll find some way to drive it away ourselves. Cruz isn't gone, Eden. It may seem like it's all over, but he's still around.
We've hurt each other so much. We really can't talk about forgiving. I can never expect you to forgive me for the pain that I caused you, but believe me, if there was any way that I could erase the harm that I've done, I would. I can't go back and erase what happened, or I would. It would have never gotten to this point if we would have just been honest from the beginning. Look, I'll tell you the truth. That what happened at the lighthouse... I made love to her, Mason. I don't know if I could live with it, much less forgive it. You weren't aware. I'll always be thinking of Cruz. I still love him.
I know I'll never have you, but I'll never stop loving you.
Zippers, oh boy. This isn't nearly half as interesting as the unzippering.
No, I should hope not.
Oh, wait a minute. You are missing an earring. Oh, there it is. God, how could I forget?
You are slightly demented.
Madame. Oh, demented? You bet I'm demented. I'm demented, and I'm happy because I ain't been this demented or this happy in a long time.
I'm glad. I'm also scared, Mama.
Yeah? Of what? Why should we? Huh? You don't have to.
Well, I'm scared of losing us.
We don't have to do that either.
Well, it's also complicated and so many things I can't really...
You know something? Whenever you start talking like this, I know exactly now what you're thinking. And I have told you that I have as checkered path as anybody going. I don't... Look, you could do practically anything in the world at this point, and it would not change one bit about the way I feel about it.
Someday you will understand. See, when you've been as irresponsible as I...
Irresponsible. Irresponsible. You are looking at Mr. Irresponsible. Sometimes... Hey, come here, you. Sometimes you gotta be a little reckless. Tell me one thing. Promise me that you will not do one more responsible thing this day. Come on.
Well, I guess I could put off reforming my wayward self. That's all.
I guess you could. Well, I'm glad you came.
Thank you. Well, you said it was important.
Well, I always say things are important, usually meaning to me. This time I meant to you. How do I stand on the charts?
What charts?
Well, since our last conversation about my being the father of your child.
Well, you're in the top 3.
Well, who are the other 2? I'll be happy to show my genetic superiority. You can even poke a hole in my finger, see how blue my blood is.
I lied. There are no other 2. There's no list.
Well, then why haven't you decided on me?
Now, don't be offended.
Uh-oh.
Frankly, I have trouble trusting you, Mason.
I am shocked and deeply hurt.
Sorry.
It's all right. I'm better now. When you hear that as often as I do, you learn how to bounce back. Why don't you trust me, Julie? I said I'd sign away any rights I had to the child.
Look, you're a lawyer and I'm a lawyer. We both know how inviolable these contracts are, especially when it comes to children.
Well, my promise is inviolable, Julia. I mean, I have lied and cheated and double-crossed, but I have never, ever broken a promise to a woman that I liked, who was a lawyer.
Bit of a fine line there, huh? Besides, how do I know that you're going to keep quiet about this? And you know what's most puzzling to me is why do you want this so much?
I suppose for the same reasons you do. I think we're both at an age, Julia, where we're thinking about children, but I've looked at my future and there really isn't room for a child in mine. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't like the idea of having a child, knowing that it was being raised by a loving mother. And it would have to be the knowledge of myself and the mother alone, for the simple reason that it wouldn't be good for people to know that I had fathered a child out of wedlock. I do like you, Julia, and I would keep my promise. I don't know why it means so much to me, but it does. Does that have to be held against me?
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
Julia, I've been doing a thorough and objective examination of my life. And when I'm really honest with myself, I realize that any chance I had at emotional, whatever, fulfillment, let's say, died along with Mary. Now, my goals had been diverted for a while when I was in love with her, but now that she's gone, my primary ambition is, as it was before, to totally eclipse my father. That's going to require all of my time and energy. Not that I wouldn't love the child, do anything you thought necessary, especially materially, to help with it. Being a doting, even an attentive father isn't in the cards.
You're not just saying that for my benefit.
Well, I hope you haven't been waiting with bated breath for me to announce that I'm an empty shell with a heart of dust.
No. You know, Mason, your loss is very real to me.
I know. Then you'll understand when I tell you that I no longer have the emotional wherewithal to become attached either to the child or to you.
Good. That's good, because then it's just easier.
Well, I've got to run some errands for Eden. I'm going to have some champagne sent over so that you can celebrate before I get back. If you feel there's something to celebrate, you can start without me. Remember, if you accept my offer, you won't be able to have champagne much longer.
Eden, I have to talk to you. I promised Cruz that I would tell you exactly what happened while we were together at the lighthouse.
I've heard enough. I hardly need a blow-by-blow description.
Listen to me. This isn't easy for me either. I'm leaving town tonight. I promised Cruz I would tell you this.
Well, you don't need to on my account. As far as I'm concerned, it's a dead issue.
Cruz was hurt very badly when our boat hit the shore. I found some painkiller in a first aid kit. For some reason, he had a violent reaction to it.
Violent?
Yes, he seemed to lose touch with reality. He was in a sort of half-conscious state most of the time.
Oh, pardon me, I don't think I know what that is. Is that a medical term, sort of half-conscious?
I mean, he didn't know what he was doing. I didn't think he knew what he was doing. When he pulled me onto the cot, he thought it was you. At least that's what he said when he came back here.
Listen, Victoria, I don't owe you any favors. And I'm sure you don't know it. But I'm going to do you one, and I'm not going to explain why. You say you're leaving town, you do it now. You don't wait an hour from now, you don't leave a forwarding address, and it's not because I don't want to stand here and listen to this. Please, just leave.
Eden, wait a minute. For what it's worth, I just want to tell you I hope you and Cruz can...
Don't say it.
There's more than enough money here.
You were saving my life, Alice. Now bring the money down to the police station on Cabrillo Street, and don't tell anybody about this, all right?
I'm on my way. Don't you worry about anything.
Alice, where are you off to? The police station?
Did you see James? No. Why?
Hi, Alice. Hi. Sorry, kiddo. I didn't find him.
Aren't you, brother?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me about it on the way?
On the way where?
To the zoo. Remember you promised to take me to the zoo.
The what? You planning a trip?
Yes, I'm going back to Los Angeles.
Really? Well, I'm sorry to hear it, but I'll do the best for you. Not too many good memories here for you.
Oh, yes, there were. But I realize they're just memories, and they can never be anything else.
Well, poetic. Can I give you a lift to the airport?
Oh, boy, that would be really poetic, you driving me out of town.
Yeah. Leaving will certainly ease some tensions around here. I don't know, maybe good for you. You'd be happier someplace else where you're not immersed in guilt and self-recrimination. Now, I guess you're past that, aren't you? I think we've been good for each other.
Oh, yeah, how?
Well, I freed you of guilt. You freed me of my obsession for revenge.
Well, you know, if you wait while I finish packing, I think I will take you up on that ride to the airport.
Pack this.
You're giving this to me?
Oh, well, call it part of the cleansing process. I held on to that too long, brought back too many memories. You know, just seeing this thing used to throw me into a rage. I don't know, call it a symbolism, end to all the pain.
Thank God it's over.
Like murder stories?
Well, sure, but I can never figure out who the killer is.
I can. I can solve any murder if it's in a book or if it's in real life.
Well, if that was true, then you could write your own ticket to any law enforcement agency in the country.
That is the truth. But I'd be crazy to work as a detective.
All right, I've got one for you. I read about it just a little while ago. I think it happened in Canada.
Victim.
A very wealthy socialite.
Method.
Method? Oh, method, she was bludgeoned to death in her motel room.
Any suspects?
Several. There was a trial.
Oh, who was charged?
Her husband was charged and acquitted. The other suspects were her chauffeur, I believe. And there was an older man that she was doing business with.
Anyone else?
Her husband's mistress. I think I even read that the district attorney was a possible suspect.
You're right, a lot of suspects.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever read that they found the killer.
I tell you what, if I was gonna pick from that group, of course I don't know their actual relationships, I would say that it was the mistress and the district attorney, but there's something here that's all wrong.
What do you mean?
I don't think that any of those people killed her. I think that it was someone completely different. It was someone that the police never even suspected.
Eden wanted me to come by and pick up the rest of your things.
Thanks. I think everything's in that box. Right.
Everything seems to wind up in a box, doesn't it? I mean, relationships come and go, love and hate, all intangible, but the little things we pick up along the way, the things that bring back the memories, all wind up in boxes like little cardboard coffins. You know, I very easily could have come by when you weren't here, Cruz, and you'd have to deliver this to Eden yourself.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
Nonsense. It's a brilliant idea. Most of my ideas are. Cruz, I don't believe for a minute that it's over between you and Eden. You've had misunderstandings before.
We're both aware that it hasn't seemed to help.
Any message to go along with this?
No. You know, you might as well put this in there, too.
Must be yours. Poems. Eden always did like poetry. I remember reading some of her torrid verses when she was in high school. I guess we all had a few.
Yeah, she loves that book. There's a lot of other poems in there.
Read it, huh?
No, I didn't read it. She didn't let me. She likes to pick out certain ones and read them to me. Listen, that's all I'm missing.
Don't kid yourself, Cruz. There's going to be 1,000 things to remind you of. Not just in this house, everywhere. Try to run from it. Throw yourself into your work, whatever. But you'll turn a corner, think you catch a glimpse of her, start to go into a room, sense that she's going to be there. Or you'd be here, lying in bed alone. Turn and see her face as if it was just last night that she slept with you. Not too late for you two, Cruz. Take it from somebody who knows what too late really is.
What more did you know about the murdered woman?
Nothing, really.
Oh, come on. You want to be a writer. You saw the news accounts. You must be able to read in between the lines.
Okay, from what I read, I gather she was going to inherit a fortune. She cheated on her husband regularly. It was discovered that he wasn't the most faithful person in the world either. But then I'm sure that he was driven to it. I wonder if she even cared. I'm not even certain if she...
What?
Nothing. Nothing. I don't even know these people, and you have me talking as though I do.
No, wait, that's good. You see, what you have to do is you have to get inside the head of the victim, and then you find your own motivation, then you can catch the killer.
Look, if all the people who investigated the case couldn't find the killer, I don't think I could either.
All right. Now, look, from what you have told me about this woman, any man that was involved with her would know what he is getting himself into. So I don't think that any of her lovers was the killer. I think that it was someone else who knew her very well. I think that it was someone who cared about what she had become.
Look, I think we should just stick to stories. I don't think we'd go very far as detectives.
I told you I gotta get to the airport.
No, it's all right, honey. I'll get you to the airport. It's okay. You don't want to pass up one last chance to take a sentimental walk down South Beach. I mean, the memories are so thick here, you couldn't cut them with a bulldozer, could you?
I'm gonna miss my plane.
Oh, darling, I'm not going to let you miss your plane. I'll get you there. It's just that I want one last chance here before you leave to clear up all the muddle that we have between you and Cruz and Kate. You know, because it might stick with me for the rest of my life.
I thought it was clear. I told you everything that I know. Now let's go.
I'd listen to you. I'd listen to you. And I got it all in my head. You know, I'm a lawyer. I'm trained to listen, to remember, to analyze, to put the pieces together so that they fit. But I'm stumbling on that because I can't get this puzzle to fit somehow. All right? I mean, it was 5 years for you. Well, Katie wasn't your sister, but there must be some little insignificant detail, all right, that you've forgotten. I can clear things up for me. So just please bear with me, okay? Kill this one more time. You were at the South Street bar, right? Katie took off the earring. She left, got here, and then she swam out.
Yes.
Yeah. So you stayed there. You didn't follow her. You had no knowledge of what happened until you heard the tragic news.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, well, I understand that. Where I said foggy is the day you saved Eden.
Keith, there is no connection.
I've learned to listen. Another thing about being an attorney is that you learn the effect that things and people have on other people. It was a significant day, wasn't it? When
Yes.
You saved Eden, yeah.
Yes, I saved somebody's life.
Yeah, well, no, it was more than that. I could tell by the way you looked at Cruz, you know? It meant more than that.
I'm sorry, I can't.
You're making up for
plane.
something. No, yes, you can. Come here, stay here. Yeah, you can. You know, history has a way of revising itself. I mean, once all the errors and all the fiction just drop away, you're left with the truth. I've heard another history about you and this beach. And now you're going to hear it.
Sweetheart, I understand why you did this.
Why?
There's no excuse for me not seeing how much you were hurting.
I'm not hurting. Been after me for years to do something with my hair. Don't you like it? And isn't this how you taught me to do my makeup?
No.
I did it wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll do better. Isn't this the dress that you bought me?
God, I didn't recognize it.
Oh, gosh. Well, now I'm really hurt. I'm just trying to be what you've always wanted me to be, Mother, like you. You know, I so envy your secret success. Since you seem to get everything you ever wanted.
I am not a whore.
I thought if this man offered me money instead of clothes and
Your
a nice
mother
apartment.
is not a whore.
Well, that's what I tried to tell the police, but they wouldn't believe me. People see what they see, and it doesn't mean a damn what you call it, Mother.
Here, you throw these things up in my face.
You've been throwing them in my face since I was a child. You are seeing what I always have seen. You are seeing what I see every time I see you and Lionel together.
Oh, well, now, I have nothing left to fight with. But I must have something good left in me, or you wouldn't be able to hurt me this way.
I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry. There must be something good left of me. There never was.
What have I ever done to you? Jane, I want you to promise me you will never do anything like this to yourself again.
Made a difference, didn't it?
Promise me.
I can't promise until you promise me first.
Sorry I took so long getting back.
That's all right. I've been thinking.
And?
And? You drive a hard bargain.
Yes. Meaning?
Meaning that I think it's possible to domesticate a child even if you take after its father. But I'll only agree if you add to the document that you have no legal claims to our child.
Our child? Interesting ring to that.
My child. And unless you sign on the dotted line, we don't go any further.
Oh, well, let's just hope my penmanship isn't hereditary. Or by then it'll be too late for you to back out, won't it?
Secondly, I'd like you to include a clause to the effect that if at any time I feel, prior to the beginning of the actual...
Consummation of our contract?
Yes. If I feel inclined at any time to void the agreement, that you won't ask any questions.
Okay. Just keep me on my best behavior. Anything else?
Well, I think the only remaining technicalities are the, where and, when.
Well, since you have seen to everything else and agreed to be the sole active parent of the child, why don't you let me attend to the details of the how and where?
Fine. Just keep it to a clinical minimum.
Oh, now wait a minute, Julia. I might deeply regret in later years looking back and remembering that you had acquiesced in a doctor's office or something. The entire event had taken only 15 minutes. Oh, I have to draw the line. We're going to create a child. Then I insist that the memory of the conception be a good one.
Okay. You can make the arrangements.
Good. Well, pending the arrival of the duly notarized document, shall we seal the decision with a handshake? Would I be in violation of anything if I told you I'm very happy? You're really going to have a baby.
I'm really going to have a baby.
Certainly is peaceful here. Sometimes I feel I need this kind of peace. I need to be alone. Yeah, I used to always blame myself when I would get upset with people and just wouldn't want to deal with anyone. But I'm not sure anymore. Maybe it wasn't always my fault. I don't think that people choose to be alone. I think they're driven to it.
Well, there's alone, and there is alone. I sensed about you that you're alone, no matter who you're with, even right now.
What about you?
You have a sister?
Why do you ask?
There's a certain kind of aloneness that only a family knows how to confer. Parents, sisters, brothers. It's like a promise that you only know exists because day in and day out, we know that it has been broken. What?
You were here on the beach the day that Katie swam out, weren't you? She came here, saw you and Cruz together. She argued, and then she swam out. Cruz couldn't help her because he was hurt. He went to get help. He told you to stay here to watch her. That's exactly what you did, wasn't it, huh? You watched her. You watched her swim out. You watched the current drag her under. You watched her die, didn't you? You watched her die, didn't you? You felt guilty, but you watched her die. You felt guilty. But you didn't feel guilty enough to go out there and help her. That's what you wanted, wasn't it? You wanted her dead.
The drama continues shortly in The Bold and the Beautiful. And this week in E Street, David becomes TV's Dr. Rock. And Sonny's plans for revenge is revealed. All in E Street, Wednesday and Thursday night at 7:30, here on 10.